Hello, welcome back to Speak It Right Like You Know It. Today I'm presenting you with two very important questions that sometimes give students and teachers hard time to critically analyze and to provide correct answers. These two questions require a student to fill in the blanks using one of the alternatives provided there. These questions need deeper understanding of grammatical English. In question number 22, the students are asked to fill in the blanks with the choices provided A, B, C, and D. First, though, as I've always told my students, is that every question has some two answers. One of the answers is the right answer, while the other is the correct answer. I know you're wondering what's the difference between correct answer and the right answer. The right answer is what openly looks like what you're looking for. But then the correct answer is actually what the question is looking for. In other words, I may call the right answer as the distractor. Let's look at question number 22. The farmer with several others, blank, invited for agricultural seminar. Well, you are supposed to fill in the blank space using the verbs was, were, are, or have been. This question, for you to understand it critically and to analyze it well grammatically, you need to understand what you're being provided with. In this question, you have got two subjects. The main subject, which is the farmer, and the auxiliary subject, which is not provided but represented by others. For you to also understand what is required in this sentence, you must also understand the significance of the provided conjunction. In this case, you've been provided with the conjunction with that will guide you in answering this particular question. When you're provided with a singular subject that is followed by a conjunction with, in this case, of course, we have got with, but some others may also be including as well as together with. If a singular subject is followed with those phrases or words, then the verb that you're looking for should be in its singular form. And the verb provided should take form of the main verb, which in this case is the farmer. It shouldn't take the form of the preceding auxiliary verb. For instance, if you look at this particular question, the main verb, which is the farmer, is in singular form. As such, your verb should also be in singular form, but then depending on the tense that has been provided. So then, if that's the case, then the correct answer here should be the farmer with several others. Then look for a singular verb was. And in this case, we are looking at past tense. The farmer with several others was invited for agricultural seminar. The same way you'd say, the president with the cabinet secretaries was in attendance. The president with his ministers was invited or has arrived. If you look at it critically that way, then you should be able to understand that the converse of it is also correct, in which you should understand that should the main subject be in plural form, then the verb should also be in plural form. It should therefore follow that if you were provided with a sentence like the farmers, then you should be looking for a verb in its plural form as well. The farmer with several others, maybe several other several other buyers or clients, were invited. Sometimes students and teachers may be tempted to answer this question by using the verb in its plural form, that is, be, saying were, to represent the farmer with several others were invited. There's always that temptation to use were. In actual fact, that's what I call as the right answer because it looks like it is what you are looking for. It looks directly correct, but in actual fact, it is not. Sometimes people tend to pick were for this particular type of question because they tend to treat the conjunction here, which is with, as if it is a conjunction earned. In actual fact, if with is replaced with earned, then it is correct to use the plural form of the verb. And as such, the sentence should therefore read, the farmer with several others were, or rather, the farmer and several others were invited for agricultural seminar. The president and the cabinet secretaries are invited to the seminar. So in this particular case, it is important to note the tense that you are provided with. That way, you can answer this question correctly. Let me take you through the next question. That is question number 23. Kaka made a large cake blank was uncooked. And you've been provided with the alternatives there. One of them is most of it, much of which, most of which, and finally, of which much. This question can be very tricky if you don't critically analyze it with a grammatical perspective and precision into it. Nevertheless, it's a very simple question. What they're testing here is whether you understand the fact that a cake is an uncountable noun. Actually, they are looking at your knowledge of countable nouns and the uncountable nouns. For instance, if cake is an uncountable noun, cake is a whole. We are looking at cake as a whole, not cake in pieces. Of course, we can say a piece of cake or pieces of cake, but then cake still remains classified under the uncountable nouns. If that's the case, then obviously you will not apply most to this particular question because most is preferably used with countable nouns. For instance, most people prefer, most cars I've got, most donkeys, most trees, most, it is used with countable nouns. So it is obvious that you're not going to apply most in this sentence for whatever reason, by virtue of understanding what countable and uncountable nouns are. With that in mind, then we can only apply much. Much. So the correct answer, in actual fact, should be Kaka made a large cake, much of which was uncooked. And here you ask yourself, why not of which much was uncooked, but much of which? Very important question. This is simply the arrangement of your words to make a grammatically correct English. It is more of an elocution, sort of, for you to get the correct arrangement of your grammar for it to sound grammatically correct. Somebody may say, of course, that it is of which match, but that's what I would call the right answer. But then the question is looking for the correct answer. Nevertheless, that is not very important. Whatever is important is to understand the concept of the countables and the uncountables in this particular case with regards to the nouns themselves. So, with that in mind, I hope that you can be able to understand the concept of such kind of questions when they come in any examinations. Kindly bring this to the attention of your students. If you have a candidate who is going to sit KCPE, these are very fundamental questions that they need to understand. These are very important grammatical statements or sentences that every learner needs to understand. And I hope that the teachers too would put this into consideration and explain to the learners what is the approach to understand how to answer these particular questions. Thank you for watching, and let's meet again as I take you through other very fundamental questions that give students and teachers crazy approach. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the best in your KCPE examinations.